want to welcome you to Mo Talk with Will Sports and Mo. I got 3 rules when you come in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's get right to it. The Lakers was eliminated by the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. It seemed like a nail biter. Maybe it was, but maybe it wasn't. But unfortunately, however you look at it, the Lakers saw their season come to an end. The final score was 103-96 in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who clinched the series in 5.
OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. You could say SGA, PGA, USA, Lakers in 5.
Yep. That was Uncle Shay, and that might have been his exit out of ESPN, but how correct he was, Lakers in 5. But I do think that he meant Lakers cooked in 5, because that's exactly what happened to them. And here's a quick breakdown of what happened. The Minnesota Timberwolves came out of the gate with a lot of energy, and they established an early lead thanks to, in part, to some solid bench play. They seem more eager to get this thing over with, and Gobert's dominance. We can't talk enough about this. If they continue to talk about it on ESPN, he deserves that. Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert, I'm not a big fan of his, but he had a monster game, putting up a playoff career high of 27 points, to get this, 24 boards. Who allow a player in today's game in the NBA grab 24 boards? That seemed like a lack of effort to me from the Lakers, but hey, I wasn't there. I don't know what was going on in their mind, but these are the numbers that Rudy put up last night. He was a force in the paint, and his shooting was efficient as well. 12 for 15 from the floor, and the Lakers simply had absolutely no answer for his size and for his presence on the inside. Now let's talk about the stars of the Los Angeles Lakers. Luka Doncic and King LeBron James. Luka, he led the game with a high 28 points. He also contributed to 9 assists. LeBron James, he added 22 points, 7 boards, and 6 assists. However, their efforts was not enough to overcome this young, confident, on the rise Minnesota Timberwolves team. I want to take note here with Luka. As you can see, I'm a Mavs fan, and I'm going to be a Mavs fan for life. When Dallas traded Luka, it took life out of me. Go back. I got a video. Luka, I got to get this off of my chest. But I'm going to be honest with you. Last night, the way Luka looked, he made Nico Harris look like a genius. Nico said that Luka was fat. He looked fat last night. Nico said that Luka was out of shape. He looked like he was out of shape. And Nico said that Luka was a liability on defense, and he looked like he was a liability on defense. Now, before I get into this about Luka, let me say this. With him being fat, out of shape, and a liability on defense, if I had my way, I still would rather Luka Doncic be on the Dallas Maverick team than in that purple and gold. But let's get to it. That trade that Nico did, the way Luka looked last night, it was a genius move. The difference between the Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks is this. The Dallas Mavericks was a young team collectively, and all of the deficiencies that Luka had, they was able to cover that up. The Lakers is not that great of a team. The Lakers is being led by Grandpa LeBron James. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you cut it, there's no way that a team in the playoffs depth chart could be so low that your starting 5 is playing the entire second half. LeBron James looked old last night. Anthony Edwards is 24 years old, and he exposed both of them. Luka got the Mavericks to the finals last year because the team that he was on was able to cover up his slowness, his out of shapeness, and his defensive liability. But on a Laker, he is expected to help carry a team with a dude that's 56 years old. And young 24-year-old Anthony Edwards said, nope, not today, not on my clock. If I was a betting man with the makeup of the Mavericks, if Kyrie stay, if AD come back, I'm going to say Anthony Davis gets a ring at Dallas before Luka does with the Lakers. Yup, you heard it here on Mo Talk. That's how I feel about it. Now, Minnesota had some three-point woes last night. Interesting enough, the Timberwolves struggled mightily from the beyond the arc. They only went 7 for 47 on the three-point attempts. They even had a stretch of 17 consecutive misses. That's one of the things that I don't like about this new NBA game is that they shoot too much. I see players have wide open lanes, and instead of them taking it, they'll drop back and they'll shoot it. But hey, it's either here or there. I know it's a new generation, but 17 consecutive misses, man, that's a lot. And that's really hard to look at. But clutch plays down the stretch, though, is what made the difference. Despite their poor three-point shooting, Minnesota found ways to score when it mattered. Veteran Mike Conley hit a crucial three-pointer late in the fourth quarter that extended the lead. And the Lakers' defense struggles. My God, remember I just told you Rudy had 24 boards, man. Magic Johnson spoke up, and you know he is forever going to be a Laker. He pointed out himself that the Lakers' defense was a major issue. Stated they played awful on defense. They was too small, and the Timberwolves dominated them in the paint. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard somebody say that even LeBron said, AD, what now? When you look at this Dallas and LA trade, Dallas won on the cool. I would still rather have Luka, but Dallas still won. They gave up an AD who's a rim protector, who can still give you 24 points, for a fat, out of shape, defense liability scoring machine that's playing alongside of a 67-year-old LeBron James. Randle's solid play and performance, Julius Randle. He also had a strong game for Minnesota Timberwolves, contributing to 23 points and 5 rebounds. Anthony Edwards. Enough cannot be said about this young man. This young man, to me, look, I don't know if people believe in cloning and splicing or none of that kind of stuff. And let me say, I'm not saying that he's a clone. I'm not saying that he's spliced. But if he was, it would not surprise me. Everybody talked about how Kobe played so much like Jordan, which he did. But you could tell that Kobe studied Jordan. You could tell that Kobe was trying to emulate Jordan. This Anthony Edwards is the closest thing to a Michael Jordan that we have today. And it's not because he studied him. It's not because he's trying to emulate him. It's because it's something in him that this play is Michael Jordan. Man, had an all-shooting night, 5 of 19. He went 0 for 11 as well. But he still impacted the game with 15 points, 11 boards, 8 assists, including the key assist. Still the victory. You've got to love what Anthony Edwards gives you on the floor. Anthony Edwards is one of the main reasons I am still watching the NBA basketball. He is a joy to watch, and he is so young. He's still a baby, which means that his ceiling is still that high. Anthony Davis is going to be one of the brightest stars that the NBA has ever had. Key stats to note: rebounding. Timberwolves, of course, they dominated the boards, out-rebounding the Lakers 65-48. Gobert alone had almost half of Lakers' total rebounds. Point in the paint, Minnesota outscored the Lakers in the paint, capitalizing on their size advantage and free throws. The Lakers got to the free throw line more often, making 19 to 25 attempts, compared to the Minnesota Timberwolves 24-33. Three-point shooting, while the Lakers shot better percentage from the three with 29.7% compared to 14.9%. They didn't make enough to sway this game one way or the other. In conclusion, Timberwolves played a tough physical game, utilizing their size, their advantage effectively, especially through Rudy Gobert. While the Lakers star duo had good individual performances, they had spurts of greatness. The team as a whole could not match Minnesota's intensity and struggled defensively, ultimately leading to the elimination from the playoffs in 5. Like Uncle Shay Shay said, the Timberwolves now advanced to the second round to face the winner of the Houston Golden State series, and that's going to be great. And if you ask me who come out of that, I got Golden State. This has been Shia Yeshua. This has been Mo Talk. Y'all get at me and let me know what y'all think about last night's performance, Luka with the Lakers, and is it time for LeBron James to take off his sneakers, go grab him a cigar, spend some time with Savannah, and say to himself, I had an excellent run.